What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam, this is Vancity Audi, and in behind me we have my RS3 here at the brand new Rider Performance. This is the first modification at the new location, and I am very excited. Today, we have the Driveshaft Shop's front and rear upgraded axles for my RS3. The fronts are rated to be able to handle up to 1,200 horsepower. I'm nowhere near that, so we should be okay. And the rears are rated for 1,000 horsepower. So this video is going to cover me showing a comparison between the OEM axles and what the upgraded axles look like, as well as Kyle is going to install them for you and show you exactly how it's done. And here's an up close and personal look at the axles themselves. These are the fronts. These are shorter than the rears, 15 1/4 and 17 1/4 in length. Make sure you guys pay attention to the lengths because the left and the right side are different lengths. As for the rears, here they are over here, 21 inches and 19.5 inches. You can see how much beefier the fronts are than the rears. So now that we've had a close look at them, we'll get Kyle to uninstall the OEM ones. Now that Kyle has these front axles out, I've put them side by side so you can see exactly what they look like in comparison to one another. Look at how much beefier these are compared to the OEM itty bitty ones. On the other side here, this is actually much longer than the OEM piece, and they're also not hollow. This is one solid piece, whereas these are hollow and the bolt goes in on the OEM setup. That's one side. Here's the other, same exact setup. Much more tapered on these than the OEM, and again, with the longer spline. And I'm gonna explain to you why that's a huge benefit. So here's an example from one of Rider Performance's builds. This is from a high power Mark IV Jetta. This is an OEM part. You can see that when it's hollow, it is much easier to break and splinter and just come apart. With a solid piece, it's much less likely to happen. So before Kyle puts this on, just wanted to let you guys know, these are a bit heavier of a part. These are the fronts still, roughly 3 to 4 pounds. I have an analog scale here. It's not perfectly accurate, so I'm not gonna show you guys exactly what it weighs. By what we see on the scale, roughly 3 to 4 pounds per axle on the front end. So now that Kyle has the rears out, here's a direct side-by-side of the new DSS axles versus the OEMs. Again, a much longer, solid spline versus the hollow OEM. Now you might also notice there's a green piece of tape on that axle. I'm gonna explain why that's there right now. So let me just take a second of your time to tell you a quick story about why we're marking this particular axle with this green piece of tape. It's because this axle is from a Mark II Volkswagen. I know you probably don't believe me, but it is. If you guys are longtime subscribers, you may have seen that we broke one of my rear axles when we first installed the Syvex Haldex all-wheel drive controller. They didn't quite have the software sorted, and I don't think it was releasing the e-brake soon enough or something along those lines. And what ended up happening is we broke that rear axle. Now, in order to get one of these was a wait. I think I was quoted at like 6 weeks minimum. So we went into the scrap bin at Ryder Performance and we were digging through all these axles he had, and we found this one from a Mark II Volkswagen. And he's like, these look really, really similar to the OEM RS3 axles. So what did he do? Bolted it in, it fit perfectly, and this has been in my RS3 for 1.5 years now, running it completely problem-free. So to anyone that may have broken a rear axle, at least for the driver's side rear axle, it's the exact same piece. I don't know if it has the same part number, but it fit perfectly in my RS3 and have been running it successfully ever since. But now we're taking this off and we're putting on something beefier from DSS. So similar to the front axles, these rears also weigh a bit more than the OEM rears. I don't know how many, maybe 2-3 pounds. So we are adding weight to the car, maybe in total 10 to 12 pounds or something like that if I had to guess. My apologies for not having an accurate scale, but I'm doing my best to kind of let you guys know about this performance part as we put it on in case it's something that you want to put on your RS3 as well. Well, that wraps it up here at Ryder Performance. Thank you so much to Kyle for the install. To date, we haven't had any catastrophic failures. That rear inner joint broke, but we were still able to drive home. So now we have these DSS in, ready to rock and roll. I feel a lot more confident with my launches now knowing that these are built, the fronts to 1,200 horsepower, the rears to 1,000 horsepower. So does that mean I need to make more power? I think so. That means we're still waiting on that tune from Unitronic. But with any luck, fingers crossed, testicles crossed, eyes crossed, everything crossed, they will get that to me soon. But now knowing that I have these upgraded axles installed, I'm confident that I'm not going to be breaking them anymore, and I can put as much power to the ground as possible on launch. So until next time, guys, where maybe I'm coming to you with another mod, maybe I'm coming to you with an actual tune, who knows what's going to be next, but until next time, guys, take care.